Alright, here's part 2. I hit when I was messing with the 1220, I hit the stop button. Continuing on with the mods that I've got. If you want this receiver, it's about 60-70 bucks on Amazon. It comes with the transmitter and the receiver, the 6-channel receiver. You don't necessarily have to spend that much money to get that. You can get one of the Dumbo RC 6 channels, and it should be just as effective and do the same. And they're about 30 bucks, and you get the transmitter and receiver for it. Right now, I've changed up the ESCs, but I haven't wired it in yet. This has got an Hobby Wing 18 amp. As you can see, I've set it up, and but I need to get some different 2mm banana plug females for the ESC plugs. I've got some of those coming. They're not used yet, but or here yet, so I can't test it out. I went to the local hobby town and got some random LED pack they had. It was a big pack. It was cheap. It was like $8 or something. And I cut my own LED lights and drilled out the buckets and just put those LEDs in. What else? I put this fan on. This fan I think is probably one of the best mods I've got for this 1220 motor, because that thing gets real hot. I basically took a 10th scale bolt from the Arma you see below me when I went and got a what is that, T-Bone Racing bumper. They gave you an extra bolt, so I had a bolt left over, and I took that bolt and I drilled in some of the chassis where the barrage motor had cut the battery tray for it, so that bolt wasn't going to be used anymore, that bolt hole. So I drilled it, and I put this little 25 by 25 by 10 fan, and I made sure that the outside spin part's here, but at the same time it pushes air the opposite direction. So I'm using that, and I actually just did some two-sided tape with the on-off switch for the ESC. I think it's going to turn out pretty good. It fits perfectly. These both fit in the same location as the stock ESC slash receiver combo. I did turn the FlySky receiver up sideways, and you would think that it will be too thick, but it fits perfectly. The posts, if you look at the height, they are just perfect in the height. They fit just fine. So it basically takes this, when I got the eBay combo with the 10 amp, it worked okay. Reverse was a little bit tricky. Sometimes your brake and your reverse would get kind of wonky, and it wouldn't want to go into reverse because your brake is a little odd with this. It works good though, especially if you want to, use it for walking speeds. I changed up the servo because I just got paranoid. Everybody said the stock servo was going to go out, so I went and got one of those E-Maxes. And they're like $9. Oh, back to the fan. I actually pulled that fan off of a 10th scale heatsink, which is that right there. It came on that. You can get them separately on pretty much Amazon or eBay for a lot cheaper than just buying it with a heatsink. But this heatsink I just had because I was trying to go through the heat sinks for the Arma, and the fan was on it, so I took it off and it worked perfectly. You could also, there's a few other things I've got ordered along the way, but I don't know if I'm going to use them. I got some of the rock sliders. I don't think I'm going to actually use them. I thought that the fan would be better to fit on the rock sliders, but my bolt hole seems to work really well. Let's see, what else? Price-wise, this ESC is a lot better than this 10 amp ESC. The 10 amp ESC is not bad, and it says online that they've got a program card for it. I couldn't find the program card for it, so that's another reason why I went with this Hobby Wing, because they've actually got a nice LED program card that I've got ordered and coming for it, so I can mess with the timing. So so I can maybe get some of the low speed back. And let's see, that ESC is about 20 bucks. The Hobby Wing was cheap. The eBay brushless and 10 amp combo is probably around 30-40 bucks on eBay, of course. I would probably suggest going with the 1230 motor because it has a lot better. It's a 4500 kV, and I'm thinking that it'll just suit the chassis better. What else? Oh, I got these knuckles. They're not hot racing knuckles. They came from what is that company? There's a company out of like Minnesota, I believe, that makes 6.8 gram, not 9.8 or 8 or whatever the hot racings are. I thought a lot of guys, they'll tell you to go with more weight. I personally think if I can just get away with a little bit of weight, I'm fine. I'll put that up in the description of this where you can get those knuckles. The last thing, of course, I got my own soldering station over here, so I can pretty much make what I need to as far as connectors wise. I tried to switch everything over to JST. As you can see, I've switched that over to JST. Let's see. Okay. The transmission, the 1220 bolts up. It bolts up with some finesse. I say finesse because if you unbolt it and rebolt it a couple of times, I'm sure it'll probably mess up your mesh. That might take a little bit of work. Let's see. And the last thing I think that I can think of is the pin spring mod. I took one of these Energel pintail pins. Or actually, I took 4 of them, and they're the .5s. I took the springs out of them, and I cut them, and the upper part fits perfectly on the top spring perch, but the lower part you have to actually take some needle nose pliers and open them up so that they fit on that lower ball. But you can cut them to whatever spring rate you want. I think that's, I mean, you can find these on Amazon for 5 of them for, I don't know, $8-10 bucks. To me, the shock was good enough. I just wanted a better spring rate. So this to me works better than buying $30-40 springs. I'm sure a lot of people will tell you that's crap, and it may be because this is turning into more of a basher than a crawler, and I'm trying to get back to some crawling with it, but it goes really well now. I'm happy with it, and I think for now that's my mod list. All right.